We are bringing our troops home. The caliphate has crumbled and ISIS has been defeated. Now, we'll stay in the region and we'll stay in the fight to ensure that ISIS does not rear its ugly head again.
So that was Vice President Mike Pence moments ago in Washington, D.C., saying that ISIS has been defeated in Syria. That's happening as the terror group has claimed responsibility for a bombing in Syria that killed multiple American servicemen while on routine patrol. Brett Baer anchors special report here to try and figure out what the message is on behalf of the speech and the event that we're gathering from overseas from Lucas and Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Brett, good morning.
Morning, Bill.
Yep.
I mean, this is a sad situation. First, on the loss of life, I know families, having covered the Pentagon, will be notified, and there's a lot of anxious families. There's only a 2,000-person deployment there in Syria, so a lot of families waiting to hear, which is a horrible moment. We don't have a total number as of yet, but it is more than one on U.S. troops. And you have a scenario where the president has announced that the U.S. troops are coming out of Syria. The vice president, unfortunately for him, delivering that speech this morning, saying that as this action is happening. You know, for the longest time, when it came to policy, even candidate Donald Trump criticized President Obama for announcing a withdrawal plans from Iraq, from Afghanistan beforehand, because they believed it was putting U.S. troops on the ground in danger for attacks stepping up. This is potentially one of those, if it turns out that ISIS is responsible, and it does have all the fingerprints of an ISIS suicide bomber in northern Syria.
You think about the Republican hits on President Obama when ISIS was hitting, when they were leaving Syria and going to Western Europe. Think about the Bataclan in Paris when he delivered a speech in Western Turkey. I remember it vividly when he pretty much said, just to paraphrase, that we're just going to have to deal with this and work through it time and again. The problem is you had dozens of people who were dead in Paris at that time, and Republicans jumped all over President Obama at the time.
Yeah, and I think the criticism is fair now. The process by which that was announced came under attack from Democrats and Republicans. And I think that the policy is on hold. You had John Bolton, Secretary Pompeo, saying that it's going to be over time a withdrawal. But when the president announces that it's happening, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And that transition of troops out is just as dangerous as the transition in. So we heard that there would be stepped-up attacks possibly on ISIS in the final holdouts there. And perhaps this is part of the ISIS pushback as U.S. troops get ready to withdraw.
The story is just a few hours old. Certainly something we're going to